Hi.
Listen, I'm sorry about yesterday, but I had a pretty big deal fall through actually.
It's okay, I had to go home and feed my cat.
Welcome to MsMojo, and in this installment of Versus, we'll be comparing and contrasting the depictions of Catwoman in the live-action Batman movies.
There's no fresh start in today's world. Any 12-year-old with a cell phone could find out what you did. Everything we do is collated and quantified. Everything sticks.
For this showdown, we're pitting Michelle Pfeiffer versus Anne Hathaway versus Zoe Kravitz. There will be some spoilers ahead. Who do you think made the best big-screen Catwoman? Let us know in the comments. Round 1. Story. Of course, if you're gonna put the famously infamous Selina Kyle on the big screen, you have to have an interesting and well-developed story for her.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strays.
Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman was given a slightly more realistic background in 2022's The Batman. Selina Kyle works in underground clubs infested with Gotham's worst crooks, doing her best to protect the girls she works alongside. Everything gets thrown off balance when one of her friends mysteriously disappears, forcing her to team up with Batman so they can figure out where she went. It's a story with grit, mystery, and a ton of emotion, as it holds some parallels with real-world dilemmas like drugs, corrupt politicians and cops, as well as human trafficking.
Wait, where are you going?
She knows Annika.
No, stay on the DA.
I told you I'm looking for my friend.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman's backstory is equally as tragic as Kravitz's.
Wow. The Batman. Or is it just Batman?
Selina Kyle works as a secretary for industrialist Max Schreck, who plots to siphon energy off of Gotham until he wields power over the city. After finding out Schreck's plans, Selina is pushed out of a window by her boss, sending her falling to her doom.
Okay. Go ahead. Intimidate me. Bully me if it makes you feel big. I mean, it's not like you can just kill me.
Actually, it's a lot like that.
Somehow, a group of stray cats bring her back to life, and it's here that Catwoman is born. From there, we see Selina struggle between falling in love with Bruce while also trying to help Penguin defeat the Batman.
Selina, this is Bruce Wayne. Yeah, we've met.
Have we?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I mistook me for somebody else.
Anne Hathaway's Catwoman unfortunately takes more of a back seat in The Dark Knight Rises.
Sorry. I'm so terribly sorry, Mr. Wayne. It is Mr. Wayne, isn't it?
She's a cat burglar who briefly worked with Bane before aiding Batman in the fight. Her alliance with Bane isn't explored outside of the lines, "They were gonna kill me," or "A girl's gotta eat." Basically, she appeared to be more of an afterthought and a plot device than a fully fleshed out character, as we'll see later on.
Nice outfit. Those heels make it tough to walk.
I don't know. Do they?
For as much as we loved Kravitz's Catwoman story, Pfeiffer steals the first round for her unique origins and more focused story. Winner, Pfeiffer. Round 2. Costume. We've seen Catwoman don many different outfits since her first appearance in 1940. However, the films seem to have stuck with the typical black catsuit style, and each of the films in question here have brought their own unique version to the big screen. Pfeiffer's Catwoman is arguably the weirder of the three, and it's all because of the stitching. You see, it works both for and against the character's design. On the one hand, the stitching makes her look almost as terrifying as Danny DeVito's Penguin. On the other hand, the stitching also is a visual distraction from everything else happening on screen.
Who is she? What is she? I don't know whether to open fire or fall in love.
You poor guys. Always confusing your pistols with your pride.
Sure, it's the most iconic of the three Catwomen, but that does not necessarily make it the best in style. Hathaway's Catwoman feels much more in line with Catwoman's more traditional appearance and feel. The flexible material and slimming design accentuate Selina Kyle's figure, bringing the sex appeal that our feline-themed thief has been known for. Even more so, it's a design that balances Christopher Nolan's more realistic Gotham and the outfit one would expect a hero or villain to have. On top of that, the ears and mask aren't a massive distraction, doing just enough work for viewers to recognize Selina without having to do any heavy lifting.
Don't be shy. Wayne says you can get me the clean slate.
That depends
On what?
on what you want it for. I acquired it to keep it out of the wrong hands.
Now, Kravitz's Catwoman is a bit of a mixed bag.
You're pretty good at that.
Don't get us wrong, we love the overall look of her catsuit. It's basic, yes, but it fits the character. There's just one problem: the mask.
You know, I would love to sit and go over every gory detail with you, that boy. But, those assholes are coming back.
Though Kravitz only wears the mask a few times throughout the movie, it does not do the character justice. You're really gonna tell us that ski mask is a part of Catwoman? Really?
Hey, what happened? You all right?
With all due respect to Pfeiffer's Catwoman, Hathaway's costume fits the aesthetic Catwoman is typically designed with. And Kravitz's Catwoman? Yeah, not a chance. Winner, Hathaway. Round 3, Combat. Now, we're not necessarily looking at combat abilities per se. What we are looking for are moments where Catwoman was able to steal the spotlight and whoop some butt. And this is where Hathaway's Catwoman falters dramatically.
You gotta be kidding me.
No guns, no killing.
Where's the fun in that?
Both Hathaway and Catwoman were a big part of the marketing for The Dark Knight Rises. Unfortunately, the two barely made much of an impact on the movie's action. Catwoman always felt more like a character who was tacked on after the fact, getting caught towards the end of a robbery or showing up at the last second to help Batman. Rarely did we really get to see her pummel guards and Bane's cronies, and when we did, much of the focus seemed to be more on Batman.
About the whole no guns thing. I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it as you do.
By contrast, Pfeiffer has a much bigger role in Batman Returns than Hathaway does in her respective film. She's primarily a secondary antagonist until Penguin betrays her.
You lousy minx! I ought to have you spayed! You sent out all the signals! And I don't think I like you anymore!
While the fights between her and Batman are exciting, the movie's age is given away by the limits of film production in the early 90s. The fights simply don't have the flair and style that comes with a battle between the Bat and the Cat.
No sweat. I'll just tell the police I was kidnapped by an ugly birdman with fish breath.
Somebody say fish? I haven't been fed all day.
They're good enough, but this is where Kravitz steals the show.
This just got complicated.
Kravitz is given several opportunities to shine as Catwoman during fight scenes. Not only that, but Selina also gets access to more weapons and not just her whip in The Batman. In addition, she puts on some vicious martial arts moves, clocking dudes with all kinds of punches and kicks. Needless to say, this was a Catwoman who didn't hold back. Pfeiffer's Catwoman succumbed to time. Hathaway barely got to throw more than a few punches. So why wouldn't we give this round to the fierce Kravitz? Winner, Kravitz. Round 4, Bat Romance. This is an incredibly important staple to include when putting Catwoman on the big screen in a Batman story. There's gotta be some romance between the Bat and the Cat. Otherwise, it doesn't feel right, and only one of these movies got it right. We'll get Hathaway and Kravitz out of the way as they both falter in this category in the same way.
My mother warned me about getting into cars with strange men.
This isn't a car.
While both The Dark Knight Rises and The Batman did the character justice in most areas, the romance felt like it was either rushed or shoehorned in without any proper justification. Hathaway's Catwoman does share a dance scene with The Dark Knight and, as we said before, saves Batman's hide a couple of times.
You wouldn't want any of these folks realizing you're a crook, not a social climber.
You think I care what anyone in this room thinks of me?
But in terms of romance, there's nothing there. It feels like it was substantially held back or barely thought out at all.
Still don't trust me, huh? How can we change that?
By comparison, Kravitz's Catwoman had her romance practically rushed. One moment, she and Bats are arguing, and the next, she's jumping through all kinds of hoops trying to figure out what Batman is like without the cowl. It simply doesn't make sense.
Come on, Vengeance.
Just don't make any moves without me, understand? It's a little more dangerous than you know.
You don't seem like the type who does business with Mr. Shrek.
No, you don't seem like the type who takes orders from him.
Well, that's a long story.
Though there isn't much competition, Pfeiffer's Catwoman obliterates the other two here. Batman Returns not only puts Bruce and Selina's romance at the forefront when it needs to be, but it also tells a darker version of their relationship.
Who are you? Who's the man behind the bat? Maybe you can help me find the woman behind the cat.
It focuses more on the tragic nature of their romance, showing two souls who want to be together, but know they can't on account of their vastly different beliefs, morals, and lifestyles. Catwoman is someone who aims to exact revenge and bring down whoever she can to achieve her goal, which is a major conflict in Bruce's noble and courageous heroics.
As I was saying, I'm a woman and can't be taken for granted. Life's a bitch, now so am I.
There's no contest here. Pfeiffer's Catwoman tells the more interesting story between Selina and Bruce. The other two simply could not justify the existence of a romance in their superhero movies. Winner, Pfeiffer.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Round 5. Performance. Honestly, this was the hardest category to decide upon as each actor, Pfeiffer, Hathaway, and Kravitz, bring their A-game to their respective movies.
One whiff of this at the office and your boss will be asking you to stay after work for a candlelight staff meeting for 2. Gotham Lady Perfume, exclusively at Shrek's department.
Michelle Pfeiffer may not have been the first to play Catwoman on the big screen, but she certainly set the bar for the role moving forward. Not only did she bring the tragic nature of the character to life, she also managed to balance the campy nature of Batman media prior to Batman Returns with not going too over the top with it.
Don't give me a killing Max won't solve anything speech, because it will. Aren't you tired of this sanctimonious robber baron always coming out on top when he should be 6 feet under?
It led to an unforgettable performance and helped cement Batman Returns as one of the best superhero movies to exist. It's also worth mentioning her chemistry with Danny DeVito, making the two an iconic villain duo.
Not even in office yet and already an enemies list.
Those names are not for prying eyes.
To Hathaway's credit, she wasn't given a lot of material to work with, but she was able to work with what little she had.
And why would I help you?
For this, clean slate.
You trust me with that. After what I did to you.
Hathaway was able to match the stoic nature of Christian Bale's Batman, while also working in the charm we've come to expect from Catwoman. The flirting is subtle yet a tad playful, but this wasn't enough to make Selina Kyle stand out from the film. And we cannot blame Hathaway at all for that.
Sorry to keep letting you down. Come with me. Save yourself. You don't owe these people anymore. You've given them everything.
And lastly, we have Zoe Kravitz. Kravitz put on an excellent performance, arguably the best we've seen since Pfeiffer. Kravitz does a tremendous job at portraying a pained and hurt Catwoman, a young woman who is angry at the world for letting evil take her friend's life.
I thought you were Vengeance.
Your friend got involved with the wrong people. She didn't know any better. Maybe you should have explained it to her.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means your choices have consequences.
Jesus Christ. Choices? You know, whoever the hell you are, you obviously grew up rich.
Her calmer moments are just as excellent, showing a Selena who can be more reserved in her feelings while also having that anxiety and impatience to get a move on things and carry out plans. She's more cunning, more human here.
Why don't you come with me? Get into some trouble. Knock off some CEO hedge fund types. It'll be fun. The bat and the cat. It's got a nice ring.
As much as we loved and cherished Kravitz as Catwoman, Pfeiffer comes out on top. Pfeiffer arguably laid the groundwork for how Catwoman should be depicted on screen, minus some of the campiness perhaps. Winner, Pfeiffer. While Hathaway and Kravitz were able to bring the feline femme fatale to life on film in their own unique ways, Michelle Pfeiffer remains the best Catwoman of the bunch.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.